They didn't tell me I was following the chicken ordinance. I'm Scott Ford here from the Department of Community Investment, and I'm going to tell you a little bit about a new math for cities and literally changing the equation for economic development. Traditional economic development looks much like the image we're going to see here, right here, where you have a large chunk of land advocating here, advertising its low cost, and it's a big project here. This is something that looks really attractive on a spreadsheet. But as we started to analyze these numbers, we realized that we were missing something here. We were missing that consideration of its rate or its yield. In Indiana, you take a lot of cues from a farmer, and if you had 3 different types of crops, you're going to allocate most of your land to those crops that have the highest yield. Why not for economic development? The image here on the left is that conventional scene that we see today. The image on the right is frugal urbanism. That is urbanism that was built before TIF, tax abatement, any of those other incentives. As a consequence, its format is incredibly efficient and productive. And that's the format we're going to have to look to in the years ahead in a time of fiscal austerity. We've come up on the end of the history of sprawl, and that first, the life cycle is up and the results are in, and it literally is unsustainable, and that format of growth cannot pay for itself. And so we're at an inflection point, quite frankly, we're at an inflection point. We have a choice. We can continue to lose some of our resources in an unsustainable fashion, or invest in those places worth caring about and reinvest where it gets the best return. And so that new math looks towards 3 dimensions, and it's really celebrating place. One illustration here is Austin, a community that gets lots of accolades for quality of life. Incidentally, it's also celebrated for economic development because the jobs follow that quality of life. And so that paradigm, that framework for us in economic development is often, the smartphone. It's the integration of the hardware and the software, mutually aligned, headed in the same direction, and both reinforcing each other. Both are very necessary. So in South Bend, some of the things we're doing here for the hardware, setting the stage for growth, reinforcing a residential environment downtown. We've got a lot of good things underway with the LaSalle Hotel RFP, the Hill and Colfax RFP, market rate housing study. We see a lot of activity there at housing. It's going to help add some vitality. We're also celebrating the river as an asset. Working with Aaron Perry at DTSB, we're going to, by the end of this fall, you're going to see real dynamic theatrical lighting on our river, which will be fantastic as we start to approach that first time around. It's about time that we turn our face towards the river. And moving along that lines with other hardware, celebrating the street as a public realm, as a vibrant place. This is an image of Studebaker Plaza. This is just around the corner here. That'll be open, kitty corner from Chicory. This will be open this summer. It's coming online. It's got an outdoor chess set. It's going to be a remarkable public space for us. But also we look at our neighborhoods, celebrating the sense of a city as a polycentric city with number of nodes around town, these neighborhood centers with parallel parking. And we can do some curb improvements and street side lighting. We're working on that already with some stuff on both sides of the river. In terms of the software, it's really about establishing that innovation, a cult of innovation and entrepreneurship. We're doing this with the Small Business Toolkit, Developer's Handbook. We're getting a lot of information out there to the public to help stimulate that culture. Also, the software, it's something that we've seen tonight. It's that civic and social capital coming together through these grassroots groups like Unity Gardens and Ignite. And it's you guys here tonight. That social capital is critical for moving the ball in economic development. We're also doing things to invest to help take that social and civic capital and take it to market through places like Innovation Park and Ignition Park, the new accelerator building, which will be coming out this year. It's pretty exciting as we create those resources to help stimulate the economy. We're also looking at that ecosystem. Everyone talks about this ecosystem of economic development. We've done more now to ensure that everyone is strategically aligned, headed in the same direction. I don't know if that's often been the case here in the community in the past. And we're now, with that new direction, bringing up the point of the mayor's poignant summary of the State of the City speech, a sense that the city's main attribute when it was founded was openness. It was open to the West, it was open to new cultures, open to new ideas. We need to return to that attribute of openness. And as you go through the city and you start to think about all the things tonight about our smart sewers and our smart street grids and our smart government with 311, all these things start to stack up, and all of a sudden you realize that we're in the smartest city in the Midwest. And I think that this is something that we can start to celebrate as we continually do things differently, and we are continuing to be open for new ideas and open for those new cultures to come together and bring that investment here in the community. And why this is so important is that 4 years ago, we were listed as one of America's 10 dying cities. Now we're recently listed as one of the 10 cities in transition, and it's because of you here. And it's because of that. And as we're very much still in transition, we'll look to you to spark that change. Thank you.